I might just be playing with my kids or going for a walk or something, and I have an idea. Hey, I could write a story about a rat. He could be a cool rat. He could be a cool rat in the city. He could be a cool rat in the city playing jazz. Yeah. And then I start to write. And let me tell you, writing takes lots and lots of work. Because I have to change the beginning and fix the ending and fix that word and put that word in and take that character out and take that character in. Oh, it can be a lot of work writing this story. After I think I've written a pretty good story, I get something. Who can read this big word right here? Hey, I'm impressed. Feedback. I get feedback, and feedback means they tell me, my friends, tell me what they think of my story. And sometimes they say, sorry, but I didn't like this story very much. How do you think that makes me feel? Kind of sad, but guess what? I have to know that. If they didn't like it, I have to fix it so it can be a better story. Or they say, well, it needs a little work. Hey, I really like the ending. It's good. Or it's almost ready. When my writer friends tell me, yes, we really like your story, it goes to my agent. Now, my agent is my secret agent. Because I worked with my agent for 8 years, and I never saw her face. She was a secret agent. She called me up on the phone. Hello, this is your agent, Colleen. And I didn't know what she looked like. I just worked with her on the phone. Now, what do you think the agent tells me most of the time when I send her a story? Do you think most of the time she says yes? I like your story, or no? Show me with your thumbs. Thumbs up. Do you think yes or no, what she tells me most of the time? Well, guess what? Most of the time she tells me no. Yes. And then I have to start all over again. But once in a blue moon, she says, hey, I think this story could be a winner. This one might be good enough. And then she sends it to an editor. Now, the editor is all the way in New York City. And the editor works for a big publishing house. And what do you think the editor says most of the time? Yes, we're going to publish your book, or no, we're not going to publish the story. Show me with your thumbs up or thumbs down what you think. Well, most of the time, the editor says no. And they say, no, this story isn't good enough. Or, we already have a story too much like this story. Or, no, we don't think it's working for us. And how do you think that makes me feel? Sad, because I worked really hard on that story. So what would be a good thing for me to do to feel better? Besides eat chocolate and lots of ice cream. Guess what? If I can go and work on a new story, or fix it. Who said fix it? Awesome. I can fix my story, or I can write a new story. So I just never give up. I never give up. I keep going, going, going. If someone says the story's not good enough, I keep on trying until I can get one that's good enough. And once in a blue moon, the editor says, yes, we would like to publish your story. And then I get a contract in the mail. Now, contract is a piece of paper that tells me stuff like how much money I'm going to get from the book sales when they sell, how much money they're going to get from the book sales, and then they give me revisions to make. And they'll email me back and forth and say, no, it's not quite ready yet. We want you to fix this part. Okay, it's better. Still needs some work. And then finally they'll say, yay, your story is finished. We think it's good enough now. And then I say, yes, thank you. I can work on something else. Okay, now it goes to an illustrator. Because all my words are finished. And we're making a picture book, so it needs pictures. So it goes to an illustrator. And did you know that an illustrator can take a whole year to paint the pictures for a picture book? Because every picture is like a painting. So it can take a long time. Now, I do not get to choose my illustrators. Some people say, how do you choose your illustrator? Well, I don't get to. The editor chooses the illustrator. So I just find out who they picked. Now, even illustrators have to make changes. This is the cover sketch for the cover of Cool Daddy Rat. Now, how many of you like to make pictures or paint pictures at school? Okay. And how many of you start out by drawing in pencil first? Why do you do that? Exactly right, because you need to erase when you're first making your picture. You make it in pencil so you can erase and you can get it just right, okay? Now watch what happens to this sketch. Tell me what changes on the actual cover. There's color, and what else? What happened to the words? The words used to be right here, right? And they moved over to here. That's because the editor said to the illustrator, we want you to move the words. So the illustrator had to move them. So even illustrators have to make changes when they're working on a book. Okay, so one of the best parts about being a picture book author is when I get to meet my characters for the first time. I get this package in the mail. It's a long, flat package, and I tear it open. I'm so excited, and I lift it up. Hey, so that's what Cool Daddy Rat's going to look like. Wow, not exactly like I pictured, but I think I like it. And so, it can be a really, really exciting thing to see what my characters look like. Because I just made these characters up. I just made up Cool Daddy Rat, right? Okay, now after my words are done and the illustrator's all done making their pictures, they scan the pictures with my words on it and they make it into a digital file. Now, a digital file is just a disc. If you've ever watched a DVD, a DVD is a digital file. That's what they do with the book. They make it into a digital file and then put it on an airplane and they fly it all the way to China. Okay. Now sometimes, if the file is really, really huge, they send it in a big file over the internet called an FTP file. Watch this. Okay, now let's watch that close-up, shall we? From New York all the way to China. Okay, so we don't get to really see signals like that, but that was fun. Okay, so now all the information is in China. Okay, and guess what? What happens next? They print them up. Okay, they have a great big printing press and they print them up in books. Okay, at a factory. Now I'll show you. This is what a real printing press looks like. It's as big as the whole room. It's huge. And there are these great big rolls of white paper that turn on the machine. Zing, zing, they turn. And a computer tells the machine where to put ink on the page to make the pictures. Now I'm going to show you what Cool Daddy Rat looked like when it came off the printing press. Now I have laminated these, so they're kind of shiny. They don't normally look shiny like this, but they're just rolls of paper that come off the printing press. See that? Shring. Can you see? Can you see the pages of Cool Daddy Rat? Now some of them are upside down and some of them are right side up. Now what do you think they do next? Who said that? That is smart. That's right, they have to cut them, right? Because we don't read books that are this big. We don't read stories that are this big, right? So they cut them out. They slice up the pages, and they stitch them together, and they put a hard cover on it, and they make them into books. And then they put the books in boxes, and now they're still in China. how do you think they get all the way back to the USA?
An airplane.
An airplane? Not an airplane, because they're really heavy boxes and that would be expensive on an airplane. And here's a clue. It has to cross the sea. Yeah, on a boat. Okay, so here, let's watch. On a boat. All the way back from China. Okay? And then they take them off the boats. They put them on the backs of trucks. And they drive them to your bookstores and libraries. So, when you read a picture book, I want you to remember, this book, to get into my hands, it went on a plane. It went all the way to China. And it went on a boat, and it went on a truck. It went all the way around the whole world and came back just to get into my hands. That's kind of a neat thing to remember when you're reading a picture book. Now, that's not true of all books, like chapter books, but picture books are almost always printed in China. So just remember, picture books take a long journey to get to your hands. Okay, we are going to do something fun now.